This is the story of an adolescent girl who meets her needs and faces her inner self. Take a look. The story takes place in a small town in Northern Europe. Alma looks sweet and shy like all ordinary children, but inside she has a small rebellion that belongs to adolescence. In the girl's eyes, the green hills, the ordinary roads, the old mailboxes, the humble houses and the big, silly sheep in the Nordic town all bore her. Alma also has two best friends who share her cynicism. Sally, who has always wanted to escape this town, and Magda, who loves to wear lip gloss. The three of them often hide together to smoke homemade cigarettes and talk about how depressing the town is by coaxing beer from passers-by. These three girls must pass by the town's welcome sign when the middle finger to the sign, to express their dislike. Alma also has a hidden special annoyance, which is that she has an overwhelming desire for sex. She would take advantage of her mother's absence to do phone sex while passionately masturbating herself. She heard her mother's door open and hurriedly cleaned everything up and returned to her desk pretending to be studying. And her mother didn't notice anything unusual about Alma except seeing the phone on the floor. Alma's desire for sex makes her often fantasize late at night. She imagines her crush, Prince Charming from school, Atul, crawling into her boudoir, lingering tenderly with her and then sleeping beside her. In her adolescence, Alma has her own little secret. At the same time, she wonders if all girls are as horny as she is at this age. In order to catch Artur's eye at the next party, and with the encouragement of Sally's sister Maria, Alma buys a pretty and sexy pink dress and returns home. Alma gets dressed up and fantasizes about a romantic encounter with Artur. She is invited on a date, and the two of them chase each other in the woods, finally returning to nature where soul and body become one. In this beautiful anticipation, Alma puts on the sari and carries a little red flower on her head to the long-awaited party. As expected, Atul soon noticed the beautiful Alma and followed her to the grove outside the party. The two looked at each other, and their feelings were unmistakable. The boy looked at Alma with fascination, and could not help but lean closer and closer, and even unconsciously topped the girl's thighs. Alma looked at Atul's unbelievable behavior and was very excited. Alma came to the toilet and imagined more erotic images to satisfy her desire once again. Back at the party, Alma shyly tells her best friend what just happened, and Sally laughs without saying a word. Magda, on the other hand, can't believe that the boy she likes has fallen for her best friend. So Alma tells the whole story again, but Magda obviously still doesn't believe it. At that moment Atul came over and Alma rushed to ask the boy for confirmation. When Sally saw that her two friends liked the same boy, she didn't know who to help and left. However, what Alma didn't expect was that Atul denied his actions and Magda also sided with Atul. After returning home, Alma lies in bed, devastated. Her mother thought that her daughter had just had too much to drink at the party and didn't ask too many questions, but she didn't know that the girl was upset because she wasn't trusted by her best friend. Soon Magda approached Alma and told her that now her classmates knew about the party, but as Alma listened, she was hallucinating again. She sees her friend as a fantasy object and wants to get close to her. The girl's behavior succeeds in making Magda think that she is addicted to sex and not only makes up lies about Artur being close to her, but now tries to molest her. Magda leaves in anger. Alma could never have imagined that she would tell the truth and be treated as a liar by all the students in school. Artur stopped seeing her, and her former friends not only distanced themselves from her but also became rumor spreaders, and some even threw little notes in class to mock Alma. As things get worse, everyone in town knows about Alma and nicknames her Penis Alma. Alma tries to fit in with her classmates, but no one will approach her. Alma imagines that Atul is standing quietly behind her, apologizing, supporting her and telling her how much he loves her. She forgave Atul, took his hand and ran home to her mother's bedroom, where she was tangled up in the big, fluffy bed. After the madness, she looks at the boy spitting smoke rings beside her with a swooning face. But the reality was that Alma went home alone with the kids chanting the nickname Penis Alma. Isolated, Alma has no one to play with but to watch from afar as Magda and Artur sing together. She can't help but think of her best friend seducing the boy of her choice behind her back. When she thought of this, Alma is even more upset and desperately wants to fit in with her former small group. In an attempt to be a maverick and to appeal to her former friend, Alma approaches him in a smoke-stained jacket. However, Magda doesn't care and quickly avoids her with her buddies. All this is seen by Sally, who is hiding. The girl was in a dilemma. She wanted to be on Alma's side but was afraid of offending Magda, so she could only write a letter to express her frustration. One thing led to another and her mother found out about Alma's phone call to sex. The girl simply confesses to her mother that she is very horny right now, The mother wondered when her daughter, who had always been a good girl, had been so rebellious, and in a fit of anger, she hit Alma with her hand. The aggrieved girl ran out of the house alone and went to the place where she often talked with her best friend. Sally arrives and tells Alma that she appreciates Alma's frankness and straightforwardness but can only support each other behind the scenes. Alma understands Sally's feelings but can only bear everything alone. After that, Alma's relationship with her mother takes a turn for the worse. The mother does not understand the changes in her daughter's adolescence and treats her with indifference. The rebellious Alma chose to fight against her mother. She even went to the nearby supermarket to work as a cashier to learn how to earn money to support herself. When she is free, Alma's desires rise again and she even takes the supermarket owner as the object of her fantasies. Is it possible that people are so horny when they reach puberty? Although the girl had doubts in her heart, she finally followed her body in the desire to sway indulge in it. After sobering up, Alma feels more and more lonely. She thought of her lover, Artur, and wondered why he did not admit what he had done to her. The isolation of her classmates at school, her mother's indifference and dislike, and her lover Atul's distancing. All these things piled up in Alma's fragile heart. She couldn't bear it anymore. Sally knows Alma's pain and finds her with a drink to relieve her pain. After an internal struggle, Alma threw away the pornographic magazines and decided to be a good girl again. Sally looks at her friend and tells her that she is also in love. The two of them went to the street together to vent their frustration with the town and their lives. On the way back, Sally encourages the girl to believe in Alma and that Artur likes Alma. She expects that they will each take a trip together with their other half. Just when Alma is ready to return to her normal life, the supermarket owner finds the pornographic magazine she threw away and her mother finds out about it. Her mother locked her daughter in the house and did not let her go out alone. On the surface, Alma doesn't care about the isolation and shunning, but inside she wants to be understood and supported. But she can only cry secretly in the toilet, venting her anguish and sadness. Fortunately, the girl has a good friend, Sally, by her side. She handed tissues to her sad friend and advised Alma that she should talk to Atul and not to suffer alone. Alma did not answer anything. Soon Magda finds Sari, says she knows about Sari and Alma's relationship and accuses her of being friends with a girl who lies a lot. Sari finally chose to side with Alma and broke up with Magda. Before she leaves, she tells Magda that she believes that Alma is not lying and that it is Artur who is lying. The three of them, who were once close to each other, go off on different tangents. Sari chose to stay with her boyfriend and Magda went to the party alone, and Alma was bored at home. She sneaks into the living room to steal a drink and accidentally overhears her mother talking to someone else in the kitchen. She realizes that in her mother's eyes, she is ashamed of herself for making pornographic phone calls and reading pornographic magazines. The upset Alma confronts Artur with a bottle of wine, but to her surprise, he denies it and even claims that he has a girlfriend in order to get rid of her. Thus, under the pressure of both school and family, Alma's heart completely collapsed. She wants to escape from this depressing town and go to Oslo to find Sally's sister, Maria, the girl who encouraged her to pursue love bravely. Alma hopes to get a moment of understanding and forgiveness from her, but she also imagines her mother and Artur's nervousness and panic when they find out that she is missing the next day. Perhaps this is the only way to make them understand what they will lose by what they have done. As Alma imagined, the mother began to reflect on the harm her actions and words had done to her daughter after Alma's disappearance. Artur, because of the girl's disappearance, finally realized that he really liked Alma and was afraid to admit what he had done to her because of a moment of cowardice. On the other hand, Alma arrives in Alice and receives a warm welcome from Maria and her friends. After hearing Alma's story, they said they understood Alma perfectly and told her that she had done nothing wrong. With Maria's reassurance, Alma gradually figured out the whole thing. It's like a hormone-based chowder, full of love, friendship and affection. But Alma's youthful hormones are too much, and she seems to be a bit heavy-handed. Whether she is faithful to her body's desires or speaks out, she is not wrong. After returning to the town, Alma finally gains the tolerance and understanding of her mother. Artur also came to Alma's house to apologize to the girl, wanting to get each other's forgiveness. Alma, of course, does not want to forgive him so easily. At the end of the film, Alma meets Sari and Magda, her two best friends, on the bus to school. Both of them chose to sit next to Alma. They go back to school together. Alma came to the entrance of the school and saw Artur, who was greeting her with a banner over her head. The banner said that Artur had poked Alma with penis. The girl smiles happily, forgives Artur, and takes him to see her mother. That's the end of the film. The film tells a refreshing story in the guise of a heavy drama. Youth is a word that is more energetic than passionate, but at the same time it is real and perceptive. Maybe we have to face the rough and unreasonable discipline of our parents during the rebellious period. Maybe we have to endure the serious injury and isolation caused by gossip. Or maybe we have to endure the betrayal of our once close friends. Or maybe we have to resist the ignorance and absence from our beloved. But it may not be as bad as we think. The way we are working now is the real look of youth. In addition to the malice from life, there must be some people around to support us and encourage us to get out of trouble.